As we move deeper into the preseason, which guys have fallen due to some negative press throughout training camp? I'm here to give you 5 people that you might want to avoid for 2025. First one, Chris Godwin. Emeka Egbuka seems to be the shining factor, and Chris Godwin might not be even available for week 1, and he's still recovering from a dislocated ankle. We know they just gave him that contract extension, but I think as long as Mike Evans is there, that it's going to be a little bit too crowded, and Emeka Egbuka might be the alpha in that offense. So with Chris Godwin and where he's going, and we don't know how much he's recovered, I don't know if I want to invest in him in 2025, even at his reduced cost, because he keeps sliding and it still feels like it's hard to draft him until we get any clarification on how he's improved. The Buccaneers offense has been productive. Almost every piece has been useful all the way to Tuten. So I'm curious to see where this skid stops, but at least up until he gets to Brandon Ayuk territory of average draft positions, it's a hard pass for me at cost. Older vets still not coming back from injury after a young wide receiver one got drafted in the first round just don't seem like the type of guys I want to roster. Next, it's Cam Skattebo. After the Tyrone Tracy news, it seems like Cam Skattebo is being overdrafted. People were convinced that he was going to come in, take the RB1 role, but Tyrone Tracy was an effective pass catcher and far more explosive of a player than Cam Skattebo was. I'm not saying that he's not going to get any touches. I'm not saying that he's not going to be useful at all, but I certainly don't think that him having RB2 upside is in that range of outcomes as long as Tyrone Tracy is healthy. More importantly, I don't know how good this Giants offense is going to be. Yes, there's Russell Wilson. Yes, they drafted Jackson Dart, but that offensive line has still been kind of rough. But we don't know if any of those quarterbacks are the answer to the quarterback question that they've had since Eli Manning. We don't know if Brian Daboll is the answer at coaching staff. We know Joe Shane probably isn't the answer at GM. With that being said, 2025 seems like another year that investing in the Giants besides Malik Neighbors is a huge risk. Cam Skattebo, RB2 on his own team, probably a flex play and RB3 on your fantasy roster. And if you like content like this, hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue to get you videos on a daily basis. More importantly, if you want access to all the cool data and draft tools, we have a brand new website. Go over to rotowire.com, use the code YouTube15 on your screen, and we'll give you 15% off all of our RotoWire subscriptions and products. Moving down to the next one, it's Dalton Kincaid. He's already struggling with injuries. Granted, he went back to practice, but those other reports, he isn't quite separating, and he seems to be competing with Khalil Shakir for the same redundant role. Granted, Shakir is also dealing with his own injury right now, but I feel like Dalton Kincaid is closer to Dalton Schultz territory than a lot of us want to realize. Or more importantly, they already had Dawson Knox on the roster. Doesn't feel like we got any more production out of Dalton Kincaid. I know it's easy to extrapolate certain data before the injury, but until we see it, I just have a hard time drafting him when I can get someone like Mason Taylor, Tucker Kraft, or some of these other backup running backs with upside around his range. Especially at tight end, I kind of want to avoid the roster cloggers and at least get someone with upside. I just don't see it with Dalton Kincaid in 2025. Last player, Bhayshul Tuten. Tank Bigsby has gotten all the love in the Jaguars training camp, and we hope that at least Tuten would get in on that passing down role, but he hasn't had a lot of that on his tape in college, and Travis Etienne still seems to have that on lockdown. So we were drafting Tuten ahead of Tank Bigsby and ahead of Etienne at certain points this season, especially in best ball. That seems to have been the wrong move, and Tuten is falling down the draft boards. Does that mean you shouldn't draft him? No, you should, but I think that you need to take him with the firm assumption that he is a handcuff backup that you're expecting to go in if something happens with Tank Bigsby or ETN. If there's 2 players that seem to be the dynasty bro traps, it's Skattebo and it's Tuten, and I'm avoiding them until we get some better news or injury. Again, as always, hit the like and subscribe button if you want more content like this, or go to rotowire.com, use code YouTube15 if you want full access to all of our tools and articles. I'm Jagger May. Love you guys. We'll see you on the next one.